I'm writing my biography, life with the turning points. And there are so many turning points in World War II, in living in Yugoslavia, coming to the U.S. Right? Not to mention that I was in Belgrade. I came to the center of the city. I was 7 years old. On every tree there was one guy hung because there was somebody killed and so on. But even other things, for example, my brother, who was 6 years older than I, he was recruited and he was sent to school for officers. It was already war, right? And somebody in the school wrote an internal memo criticizing Tito. And they said that he might be part of it. My mother went to visit him. He said that he was not. He was sent to the front in the first line to chase Germans out. And about 3 days after the armistice, Tito was still pushing to Trieste and so on. And 2 weeks after that, we received a Christmas greeting card. On the back, your son has been killed, disappeared, right? And about a month or so later, came somebody from his battalion, right? And says that officer killed him in the back. Right? And that happened with Russians. I was in a small town when Germans were withdrawing and Russians were coming. And Germans were coming jump from one window to another. And I remember I was a kid watching and so on. And they knock on the window and I opened and said, "Give me some water." Right? I gave him water. And then in about half an hour you hear singing. You are in Fairmont. And Russians are coming like wave, singing and shooting everything inside. And what happened is they were former prisoners of war who were liberated. And Russians put them up front, first, drunk. Right? And when they finally, whoever survived, it came to English and American part, American, kept them there. English sent them back to Russia, to Soviet Union. They're all killed. So these are all turning points, which I should survive. And then I was sitting in, I had many others, because I do not come from rich family, but I refuse to accept a stipend because I want to be independent. And after I graduated from university, I received a letter from the ministry that I am assigned to work in the coal mine, in the office, not the coal mine. I already had a sort of assistantship at the university. I put this on the wall and says, "That's my diploma." And they put me in New York Times of Serbia, right? About a dozen of guys like me. They are not supporting redevelopment of the country and so on. And then I got married and whatever. There were more in between. And I was sitting for breakfast, my oldest, just 1 year old son. In between, it was already changed. So I gave a lecture in Paris, Université de France, and in Germany. And there were MIT professors there and so on. And we are sitting for breakfast with our son, And the letter came from MIT saying that I was given Sloan postdoctoral fellowship. Would I come with my family? You could imagine what I said, right?
Let me think about it.
But right. So we went. So my wife came from rather high level aristocratic family. She was not quite happy, but that was it. And so that were all the steps, right? And my wife didn't want to apply for green card, and we were there for several years. No, let me change. Head of department at MIT. I already wrote the book in one year and published by MIT. But head department says that he is against the brain drain from poor countries. I should go back. That's all I need. But Case receives tremendous grant from Ford Foundation to introduce systems and design. And I was invited to go to Cleveland, best location in the nation because there are a lot of industry. Later on called me Stay by the Lake, a separate story. And so we didn't take citizenship or apply for 5-6 years. My wife was not so enthusiastic about all this. But Yugoslav government at one point refused to extend our visa or whatever it's called, right? But president of a case called State Department, and they gave me green card and we became American. So these are sort of turning points, right? So I am describing my biography, many kind of turning point. Turning points, either events which should happen as they did, or I'm created myself, because there was no reason why I refused stipend from the government. I needed it badly, but I was disgusted with duplicity and dishonesty which existed there. I just couldn't tolerate it. And so then there are other turning points. So that's a turning point in one's life.